So this training is all about what do you do when you know it's all going to end? Now, we have recently had a lot of things that have happened in the news, social media, in our world. There was the passing of someone that we all respected, which was Kobe Bryant, his daughter, the others that passed along with him. And with social media at our fingertips, we're able to see like a lot of things happen that we wouldn't normally see or hear about so instantly, right? We're seeing, not only just someone as great as him, we're seeing other people's loved ones pass on. And, we're getting to see how precious life is. Now, we all know that we can't get out of here alive, but there's just another level of thinking that it starts to make you to reflect on your own life when you start to see it through people that were great people, especially when they pass at a young age. And you just know that you just never know. You don't know when your day is. You don't know how much time you have. And so this training is all about what do you do when you know it's all going to end. Now, you don't know if it's tomorrow or if it's in the next few minutes or if it's in the next few years or if you have decades before your last day. None of us know. So it's so important to live as if you don't know, right? And I want to bring up this movie that I recently saw, and I want to reflect on it because this movie to me is a lot different than what I saw on social media. So the movie is called Queen and Slim, and if you've seen this movie, you know that a lot of people, when you took a look at it on social media, and I can understand why, but they looked at it as this great love story. A lot of people talked about it that way. Some people talked about it in a way of, the police and not liking how we're viewed in the police's eyes as African Americans, as Black people. And so there was a lot of controversy around that topic. But I saw this movie a little different. And if you've seen it, and if you haven't, I definitely recommend seeing this movie. But the way I saw it was a little different. I didn't see it really as a love story. I mean, this movie doesn't take place over a long period of time. It only takes place within, I want to say like 2 days. Like, it's a very short period of time. And so I don't see it really as a love story. I really see it as some people who maybe had a common bond and connected over a common interest. Um, I more so see it, and I don't really see it from the whole, this is about police, and I didn't view it from that point, police and how they treat us, even though the movie had a lot to do with that. What I saw this movie as, mainly, I saw it as how you should be treating life, how you should be behaving when you know it's all going to end, and which we all know it's going to end. We cannot get out of here alive. And so really not so much as, how should you behave when you absolutely know it's going to end, but how should you just behave on a daily basis? Because that is how life works. So how should you be treating life? And I really felt like what this movie did was say, okay, I know you behave a certain way because of what society says, but how should you be behaving regardless? And you take a look at the young lady who is Queen. She was an attorney, very straight laced, and looked a certain way, dressed a certain way, spoke a certain way, behaved a certain way. And the minute she gets into this, altercation with the police, and the minute they think that things are going down, she starts to change because she realizes that life is short and she doesn't know how much time she has. And so I want to go over some things that I want you to think about because none of us know when that day is. And because of that, I want you to think of some things that maybe you can do every day to live every day like you don't know because you really don't know. You really don't. And so here's the first one is you need to decide that you're going to go all in. Now, there's this part in the beginning of the movie, and I love it, where um, she realizes if she does not step in, the police police are going to kill the young man. Now they're out on a date. She just met this guy. She doesn't even know him. And at that moment, she was willing to put her life on the line for his life, and made a decision in just like the blink of an eye that, you know what, I am going all in. I'm going to save his life. And in return, I know I'm also possibly giving up my life. And when we think about how we go about day in and day out, a lot of times we're not giving life our all. We're not saying, I'm going all in. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to try whatever it is I need to try. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to go all in with my business. I'm not going to be afraid to talk to people. I'm going to talk to every single person I see. I'm going all in. And that was the first thing that I saw in the movie, is that she said, you know what? Life is too short to play it safe. That I am going all in, because I really believe that that's when life is giving you its fullest, you know, uh, feeling, and that you can get everything that you want to get out of it, is when you have those adrenaline moments of saying, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to do some things that I've never done before. I'm going to go speak to someone I've never spoke to before. I'm going to ask that person something, maybe my pastor. I'm going to talk to him about the business. I'm going to talk to my uncle who's the physician. I'm going to talk to him, and I'm going to go all in. I'm not going to be afraid if I say the wrong thing. I'm not going to be afraid of, what they think. I'm just going to go all in. And when you do those things, I think that you start to feel life. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean when I say you start to feel life? Is that, sometimes we can feel somber. Sometimes we can think we're depressed, or because we're not getting what we want to get out of life, right? But life will start to give you this rush when you start to go all in, when you start to like make these decisions and live every day to your fullest, and taking advantage of every single moment, and not just playing it safe, doing things that, you're typically doing things what, society wants you to do, your parents want you to do, your children want you to do. When you know that, life is short, and you really know that life is short, and you know that, I don't know how much time I have. Hopefully, you'll stop playing it safe, and you will go all in every day, because I gotta make the changes that I want to make, so that I can see the things that I need to see in this lifetime before my final day. I need something different. I need something more. And the best way to get that is just to take those moments of fear, and you just throw them away, and you're like flowing in the wind of, let's just try this thing out. Let's try something different. I'm going all in. And that was the first thing in the movie for me. And that's what I want to really encourage you to do, is to really decide that you're going to go all in. Now, here's number 2. I want you to keep figuring out a way, even when it seems like it's over. I'm going to say that again. I want you to keep figuring out a way, even when it seems like it's over. And this movie was based on that, right? Like, it was based on all these close encounters of, oh my gosh, I think the police are going to find us here. Oh, I think they might find us at the gas station. I think this guy is going to shoot me and kill me. And like, there was all of these moments throughout the entire movie where they thought it was about to be over. And they really did. It was like, okay, here's the moment. This is where it all ends. And then, you would get to another situation, and here's the moment where I think it all ends. And you know what? Let me tell you, when you decide to like step out there on faith and try some different things, there are going to be all of these moments. It's going to be all of these moments where you say, you know what? Here it is. This is where it all ends. And I've experienced this through business. There's so many times in my business where, I had these close encounters where I thought, okay, this is it for me. I'm done. I can't take any more. And I tell several stories. There was this one time when I just knew I was going to give up. I was a leader within my company, and it just seemed like it wasn't working. And I was praying and I was asking, maybe I should do something different. I remember I'm having these walks in my bedroom, and I'm walking around and I'm pacing and I'm saying to myself, what else can I do? What else can I try? Because this is just not working for me. And in that moment, when I wanted to give up, it was a close encounter. And I remember having like these two kind of conversations, like, okay, you could, this is a good time to do it. This is a good time to give up. One person encouraging me. And then the other person saying, well, wait a minute, you haven't gotten what you want yet. So why not keep going? Why not, go to the limit and see if you can accomplish it. And then if you don't like it, you can always give up once you get what you want to get. But why not keep going? And I remember that moment I decided to keep going. And then like 1 week later, I hit the jackpot. There was a pastor that came in business with me. And, that next week, because he had brought so many people to the table, to the business. That following week, my check went to it was about $21,000. $21,000. And here I go from barely making anything to skipping 1 week later, that moment when I wanted to give up, to about $21,000. And I'm saying these things because I want you to know, and that was just one time. But there were so many times when I felt like I wanted to give up. I felt like, you know, it was such a close encounter of me feeling like it's not working. Like, why would I keep doing this? I'm burning my gas. I'm spending more money than I'm making. And, is this really working for me? There was another time I remember I was driving and the gentleman told me, he said, I had to go to his home. He had people there. He was supposed to have a big meeting, and this guy owned a cell phone store. And so I'm expecting like the room to be packed. Oh no, sorry. Let me go back. It wasn't him. This was the gentleman that actually brought this gentleman to the table. So he told me that the room was going to be packed. He worked in for a insurance company actually, and he's saying, the room's going to be packed. I call him the day of. Oh, well, I got one person right now. I got another person coming, but I had to drive hours to get there for two people. And I remember thinking to myself, like, do I really want to do this? Like, is it really worth it for two people, to drive hours for two people? I don't think you really want to do this. And I decided, I pushed myself. I said, you know what? I'm going to figure it out. I'm just going to go. I get there. And he was right. The one person that was there was his grandmother, I believe, or his mom, but she was older in age and she lived with him. So I was really upset about that. And then he goes next door and he gets his neighbor, and his neighbor is a cell phone person, right? The guy who owns the cell phone store. And he comes, he has no interest, him and his wife. And, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm just going to do my best. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to figure it out even when it doesn't look great, because this does not look good. Here we have the lady who doesn't seem interested at all, and she doesn't seem even healthy enough to do a business. And then we have the guy who was forced to come over that lived next door, and his wife. And so I get up, I do this presentation, and I talk about my business. And when I'm done, the guy says, well, I left my wallet at home. And he said, well, but I'm going to go and I'm going to go get it. And he decides to come into the business. And, this was, I remember, in the month of November, which is typically like a very slow month for my business. And that month had to be one of the best months I've had in a very, very long time. And maybe even ever. It was like during the holiday times, all because of this gentleman. My income doubled during that time, and I remember from one person, and it was really how it was exactly how people said that one person can change your entire business. That one time when I wanted to give up, didn't want to go, did not want to even leave my home, I decided to go. I decided to go. And it was a big time for my business because of that one person. So I'm saying all of this to say is that you gotta sometimes keep figuring out a way, even when it seems like it's over, because the success is like right around the corner. It's right on the other side. It's right there. It's almost as if those are the perfect moments during the times that you feel the worst when you're going to see the biggest results. So you got to keep going. And here's the number 3, the last part, because what do you do when you know it's all going to end? And what I saw in that movie was that number 3 is you really have to enjoy the journey. You really have to enjoy the journey. And the reason you have to enjoy the journey is because um, there's no reason to be uptight. There's no reason to be going through the motions and, you know, not getting what you want and then feeling bad about it is what we do to ourselves, right? That's what we do. Like you're going through the journey of success. You're not getting what you want to get out of it. And so then you want to quit, you want to give up, you don't think it's working for you. And this is how it works for everyone. So I want you to feel confident to know that this is how it is for everyone. So if you're feeling those feelings, trust me, the person that you're looking at that has what they want, that has the home, they have the cars, trust me, they were exactly where you are today or in that moment. They were exactly there just sometime prior to their success. And so you have to understand that you are experiencing the journey of success. And you can't get upset every time things don't work out for you. You can't, let it just get to you. The minute that someone says no, that you get the rejection, it's a part of the journey. You have to tell the story. And guess what? Nobody wants to hear this. I got started and everybody did everything that I asked them to do. I sold, I made all this money. Who wants to hear that story? Not one person wants to hear that story. We all want to hear the story of, oh my goodness, I went from nothing to something. I went from it not working to it working. And they want to hear how you got yourself up, strapped on your boots, put your pants on, and they want to hear how you made it happen. They want to hear how you kept going. They want to hear how all of a sudden you figured it out and you did not let anything get in your way. That is what they're looking for. They're not looking for the I gave up. They're not looking for the it worked out for me story. They don't want that story. So that's why it's this way, because nobody wants to hear everything was perfect. Nobody wants to hear that. And the whole part of a journey is because you have to be able to tell your story to someone else. You got to be able to do it, and they have to be able to relate to it. And nobody relates to a great story with no bumps, no bruises, no hills, no valleys. Nobody wants to hear that story. Queen and Slim wouldn't have been a great movie if they went on a date and then they just got married, they had kids, and then they lived forever. Nobody wants that story. They want a story that has nothing in it. They want a story that has this craziness, this, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. This, oh my gosh, this ended up great. Or they want depth. They want something to watch. And that is what your life is about. It's a story. And the reason it's not going the way you planned it to go is because no story is great when it's just easy sailing, easy going. So I want you to get up and I want you to give today everything that you have. You know why? Because you're making your story. You're making it into something that everyone is going to one day listen to, hear, be inspired by. and be thankful to you because you did not give up. You got one life. One life. Enjoy it. Smile. Appreciate it. Appreciate, when she was going out there and, she said, you know what? Things are messed up right now. But guess what? I don't usually take pictures, but I'm going to take a picture. I don't usually hang out of cars, but I'm going to hang out. I don't usually dress this way, but I'm going to dress this way. I don't usually dance and go into crazy bars and places like that, but I'm going to do it. And that's what I want you to do during this journey. As things are not going the way that you want them to go, I want you to smile. I want you to be thankful for the no's. I want you to be thankful for the rejection. I want you to just enjoy it because trust me, it is supposed to happen this way. It is not supposed to be a smooth ride. So you have to enjoy the journey. You have to. And then you have to remember that someday it's all going to end. And how do I want my story to be told? How do I want people to remember me? How do I want to be perceived in this world? And then I want you to give it that energy every day. That energy of how you want people to see you. Because you want people to see you as a winner. You want people to see you as someone who's done great things. And I want you to wake up every day and enjoy it and do great things and face the things that are hard and go above and beyond because no one gets what they want to get out of this world if you don't impact people, if you don't get in front of people and help people. This world is all about what you do for others. It's not about what you do for yourself. You were not put here for just yourself, just your children. You were put here to impact the world. So when you know it's all going to end, you have to help as many people as possible because that's why you're here. So stop being afraid. Get out there and make today the best day of your life. I'm Tashina Anderson. Subscribe to my channel. Look out for more speeches because I am coming into your home to help you, inspire you, and make sure that you give life everything that you got. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon.